Hello and welcome to this little corner of the internet. My name is Melody. Today I am finally thrift flipping this vintage 80s dress. So let's just get started. So here's the garment I'm working with in its original form. There's actually a lot I already like about this dress as is, especially the whole 80s does 40s look. Overall, I like the silhouette and the pattern of both the jacket and the skirt, but in its current form, it's not quite wearable with my wardrobe. I just don't do aggressive shoulder pads, as this dress has, and I don't like that the jacket is attached and can't be taken off to use with other outfits. So as a general rule, I typically disapprove of garments that are designed to look like two but are in fact one, as is the case with this dress. So the first thing I'm going to do is detach the jacket from the body of the dress, which is just a skirt with a cheap lining at the top, and then I'm going to take out the aggressive shoulder pads. These are some hefty shoulder pads. Detaching the jacket was easy since it was just attached with a few threads, and thankfully the shoulder pads were attached the same way and came off really easily. I decided I didn't like the buttons that came with the jacket, so I looked through my button collection for some that might work. While I was at it, I decided to move the inside buttons over about 1.5 inches to make the jacket fit looser and give myself more room around the neck. Can anybody find me? So moving on to the skirt now, this is going to be a little bit trickier than I initially expected just because the zipper goes up the front, and I don't like that. Initially I was thinking I could just flip it and wear the skirt technically backwards, but the way the pleats are down the front, it makes more sense to keep that as the front. And I just really don't want the zipper up the front. This might be a lot more work than I initially thought, but you know what? I just want to make it how I want it to be. I have a vision. I used a seam ripper to remove the lining portion from the skirt, then removed the zipper. This left an opening in the front that I closed up by top stitching along the folds that were already pressed into the fabric. Next, I created a new opening up the back for the zipper. The new opening in the waistband didn't give me any extra fabric to work with, so I created the narrowest hem I possibly could before pinning the zipper in place to be sewn. It certainly didn't turn out perfect, but it was good enough. I then hemmed the top of the waistband, and honestly I should have just stopped there, but nope. I decided the waistband was too wide and needed to be shorter by about 2 inches, which also necessitated trimming the zipper.
It was at this point that I accidentally yanked the zipper pull completely off the top of the zipper, causing me to internally panic for about 20 minutes while I tried to reattach it, just praying that I wouldn't have to completely change the zipper, because I didn't have another zipper.
Once that crisis was averted, I used this black seam binding I randomly had on hand to finish the top edge of the waistband. I don't know if I used it correctly, all I know is I really dislike an unfinished hem, and this helped me avoid that. Done, 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 it is done. Woo! Another project done. I'm really happy with how the jacket turned out. I'm not sure that these are my favorite buttons for this, but they are much better than the really cheap plastic buttons that came with it. I guess these are technically still plastic too, but they're like less cheap. But I'm excited to finally get to wear this little jacket piece with other things. It kind of gives me like a Heathers vibe. I'm not sure how I feel about the skirt because as soon as I finished it, I realized I don't really like pencil skirts. I'm also wishing that I hadn't shortened the waistband. As soon as I chopped that piece off, I realized, oh, that was what made it unique and what I liked about it, was the extra thick waistband. but once you chop off fabric, you can't put it back. So honestly, I'm not sure if I'll wear this, and that's not just because of taking away too much from the waistband, but also just because I don't care for pencil skirts. But I do really like this fabric, so even if I don't end up using it for a skirt, I will keep it and do something else with the fabric eventually. I do want to add a clasp at the top of the zipper just because I'm still afraid I'm gonna yank it too hard and it'll just come flying off and I'll have to relive that experience all over again. I am glad that moving the zipper turned out pretty okay. Yeah, actually, I was really worried about that and I think that turned out okay. My main issue is just what I did to the waistband, which was not an issue of skill level, that was an issue of being a dumb idea. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you want to stick around and see more stuff that I end up altering in the future, hopefully sooner than later future. Don't forget to drink some water today, and I'll see you next time.